Все, начинаем сейчас. Scab?
Антистачник. Это кто вообще?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess, scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather fight than Scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten some. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Недавно разошлись по домам, если бы я был благодаря, все это меня подзуживал.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop Scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Not a fan. It's just the nature of
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personnel.
Try work, the case at hand. It can work miracles. Really? You look fine to me. This psychodoctor
Ладно.
consider seeking medical
Опять.
attention.
Только хотел посмотреть задание, и опять новое задание появилось. И мое.
Was there anything else you wanted?
The worn and beaten wooden planks on the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
life doesn't need to be a struggle.
I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to Angry Hog René first.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, all right?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game. This felt wrong. Wrong.
Mon Dieu! Good job, officer.
There are no two more harmful words an athlete can hear than good job. And this was downright embarrassing. Your muscle memory knew what to do and went for it, but there were gaps. It felt like you were going for a thrust or a lunge. There was definitely going to be jumping. Maybe you scored a point, but this is a fiasco.
What are you talking about?
How are you ever going to get the officer's shit off your nose, Gaston? Or even climb out of his ass?
Бля. Ну, хорошо.
Right. Was the demonstration it, or do you still need it?
Yes, officer. What do we need from these gentlemen?
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. No, it was left by heavy artillery fire. Why what?
Huh.
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Should have fought dirty, like they did.
Здесь находится какая артиллерия, блин, ты чё?
Propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
This place is a damn beachhead, son. They had to soften the commies up first. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revoltion.
Революционное.
Martinez is
Это
used
город,
as a
где
foothold to
происходит
Revoltion during Operation Detectivine in OA. The other two are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is blood ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing petanque at their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Вы раззадорили страну рано. Можно подумать, ему и так власти не хватало. Тактика.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil. Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course, they still all influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players at the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
They're not. And I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains. I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. Damn Frisel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution. Suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire. Yeah, why what should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
This place is a damn big. Yes, mountainous was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol. This here is blood
ground.
Damn right, the rest of...
Well,
you don't eat.
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
I'm just so damn sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, I would.
This raw...
Instead, this, it doesn't. That was 100 years ago. It had nothing to do with anything. Suzerain, it's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. when we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform. This is
the uniform of the Royal Carabiniers in service of Frissel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Fit.
Don't you mean Frissel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry. Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coat Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups. Does a master swordsman insult his own blade? No. I'm going to turn you into an athletic benchmark, you big pussy. It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But when I'm done with you, boy, you will be a master athlete. When a man sets his mind and body on something and gives his 110%, he is sometimes going to piss himself. It just happens. No shame in that. Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept back with a bandana. The Homo Athleticus.
What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know, to help me narrow it down a bit. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? There's no reason to wing anything. 3 days ago, the RCM emerged. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. Okay then. Was there anything else you wanted to know? No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. I'm relieved that you agree.
He is glad and surprised to see an officer who can appreciate the less than spectacular.
Do you know the feeling when you've begun filling in a crossword, but some of your answers don't quite seem to fit? That's the feeling I have right now, for some reason. It will turn into quite the puzzle yet, I'm afraid. You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? They didn't. There's a just. You mean like 3 days during a security? Just 3 days ago during that time, the victim had been. Okay then, good.
Привет. Это... Ладно, сейчас, короче, туда надо идти, по ходу дела.
inconspicuous pile of the roofing material Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. An inconspicuous pile of the... Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by workers. Anywhere from 6 to 12 players have walked here. What do you think you are? A super detective? You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerges for the time being. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would do?
Noted.
Heavy workers, isn't this something an industrial... Heavy workers, isn't this... Heavy work, isn't this...
Noted.
Ладно, хватит. связи. Спасибо, кто зашел.